Hello, Facebook fans and friends. How are you today? And welcome to the Doris Hall James Indie Show. Happy Valentine's Day. This evening, see my roses?
Yes. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. This evening, we're going to take a musical journey with Robert Gilmore. Robert plays the bass guitar. He's a singer. He's a songwriter. He's an arranger. He's a composer. He's a producer, and he produces his own music. And he's been around a long time and has had a career in music for a very long time. And we want to welcome Robert to the Indie Show. Hello,
Thank you
Robert.
very much.
How are
Thank you,
you?
Doris. Thank
Welcome.
you for having me.
And thank you for
I'm pleased
accepting
to
my
be here.
invitation to come on our show.
It's my honor to be here.
And how have you been?
I'm good. I'm blessed. I woke up today. I have no complaints. You know.
And you still doing your music?
Oh, I'm happy to say that I am.
Yeah,
I'm
because,
happy to say that I am.
well, you know what? When you're still doing what you want to do, then you're happy.
That's right.
You're happy.
That's right.
And you're blessed to do the things that you want
That's
to
right.
do.
Waking up first is the first thing, and
Yes.
being able to do what you're passionate about is a true gift.
Isn't that something else?
Yes, it is. It's a true gift. So.
Well, we're going to start our interview, and we're going to go from the beginning of your career.
Okay.
Okay, like what age did you start doing your music? You know, what made you want to do music?
Okay.
So let's say hi to Facebook fans and friends.
Hello, Facebook
Okay.
fans and friends.
Yes, yes.
I know we have
Thanks
a lot
for
of people
joining us.
checking in. Thank you for
Okay.
checking in.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then let's begin our interview.
Okay.
So tell me how all of this began.
Well, I come from a large family down in South Philadelphia, and my mother was a homemaker. My father was a police officer, 9 children. And we all were pretty much musically inclined at an early age, my 2 older sisters and myself, in elementary school. So in 3rd grade, the first instrument that I tried was the trumpet.
Okay.
And my interest didn't stay there too long, but it simultaneously that year joined the Glee Club.
No, the Glee Club. We were talking
We
about
were
the
just
Glee
talking
Club.
about that. And
Okay.
so from the 3rd grade through the 6th grade, I sang alto in the Glee Club. Our music teacher also gave us the fundamentals of music theory on the piano and organ. So that's where it began. I let the trumpet go. Then in the 7th grade at Barrett Junior High School in South Philadelphia,
Okay.
I started with the trombone. But that year, I discovered the bass guitar. And that was it for me.
That was it. And how did you know? How did you know that the bass was for you?
Well, I find this to be true that the instrument that one plays is pretty much like the person's personality. The bass is, you know, it's a bottom with the drums. It's kind of like a dominant type of instrument, you know, and the rest of the instruments lay on top of the drums and the bass. So.
Yeah, the bass looks sometimes to me is the lead. You know what I mean? It paves the way for the rhythm and everything.
Right.
Gives it that bottom.
That foundation, like a house,
Yeah, the
you know.
foundation,
That's right,
foundation.
the foundation. Everything is built on top of it. So I fell in love with it, you know. And then I did try to play the guitar, but my hands are so big, I had trouble
Okay.
holding the chords and all,
Okay,
you know.
okay.
So the bass strings were thicker, and there was more space in between the strings. So I took to it, and I loved the bottom sound, you know.
Yeah.
So and from there, it just went on. And so 7th grade, I took on the bass. I let the trombone go. And then simultaneously that time, in my neighborhood, Melvin Fortune, a.k.a. Butchie, and myself.
Oh, Butchie.
Yeah,
Yes.
Butchie, who was on the record. We started our band back then. And a little band called the Revolvers.
Okay.
Then we turned into the Soul Experience,
Yes.
and another band later on came out by that name. But then around the 9th grade, we turned into this group called the 8th Destiny, which lasted for about 8, 9 years, maybe
Okay.
10 years.
And Butchie was in that too?
Butchie was in that as
All
well. We had 3 singers, 3 female singers at first, with a rhythm section. Then as time went on, the girls started moving on. And we said, well, we looked at older groups like Breakwater and Iron Horse, Down in South Philly was the Soul Eruptions and Turbine Funk, and then you had Brutus and all the all the big bands, and they were older than us, but we idolized those guys, the Forces of Nature. Well, they were Soul the Valiants at first, and then Fat Larry's band, your husband, Fat Larry's band, and I have a story about that as well. Your husband, we were playing at a club, my 8th Destiny band. We were playing at Emerson's Lounge at 15th and Bainbridge in South Philadelphia. And one night they stopped and said, Fat Larry is in the house. He came up and sat in with us on the drums, and it was an amazing experience.
Yes.
Oh,
he was such a good drummer.
Oh, he was incredible. I was like, wow, it was a really nice experience. And he was such a gentleman, such a wonderful person, very warm. He wasn't up here because he was Fat Larry, and we were young guys, a little younger than him, but he was very, very awesome. His skills were awesome. Yeah. So I had a chance to interact with your husband, back then. So so that's how I got started, and if you want me to keep going.
Well, tell me that you said you came from a family of musicians.
Well, my older sister Janice, she played violin, and all three of us were in a glee club. We were like stair steps, and my oldest brother, he was old. He wasn't involved with music. Later on he became military 82nd Airborne Ranger in the Army for 20 years. But my sister Janice, was a violinist in elementary school. My sister Jeanette and Janice and myself were all glee club. So we were pretty much involved in music. Then later on they kind of weaned away from it, but I stuck with it.
Yeah, once if it's your passion, you're going to stick with it.
Exactly.
But I want to say hello to James from the Iron Horse.
Yes.
Now, he doesn't want to be on camera, but he's sitting here with us. And hi, James.
Hi,
How are you?
James.
Okay, and welcome to the Indie Show.
Thank you. That's my big brother. That's my big
isn't
brother.
That wonderful?
Yeah, he's
Are you still in the music?
Yeah,
Still doing your music, right?
He's addicted. When you go to his house, I mean, he's got everything. You would think it would be a musician's candy shop.
Oh,
he's got all top of the line keyboards, studio equipment. I'm all over the house, and I mean, and he keeps his house beautifully. But I mean, he's addicted.
We got to visit that studio.
Absolutely.
We got to do that.
Yeah.
You're welcome anytime.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can get in here.
Now, how long have you owned your business?
For Prime Time?
Prime Time LLC, right?
Yes, Prime Time Philadelphia LLC. Yes.
How long have you owned it?
It's been about 12 years since I've opened it. After I opened it, I wanted to get that done. Excuse me. I wanted to get that done. I kind of had a vision of what I wanted to do. After being on the road with all these various groups and all, and away from my family for periods of time, and then my wife and I had our youngest child around that time. Then Harold Melvin passed away. I left the group after that. And then
tell me about that experience with Harold.
But
Harold played with Harold Melvin.
Yeah, I was with Harold Melvin in the Blues. As a matter of fact, I was his last. I take pleasure in saying I was his last bass player before God called him home. Yeah, I was with him for about a month shy of 5 years before he passed over. But it was an incredible experience. I mean, we went from traveling in first class airplanes and 5 to 10 day cruises and limousines, and then when we had to drive from here to Tennessee or whatever, that's when you get to find out how grueling the road can be, But it was a great experience because it makes it all worthwhile when you finally hit that stage.
I know.
When you hit that stage and you have 10,000, 15,000 people out there.
Yeah,
and you hit that music and they give you that love, and then we're giving it back as a reciprocative thing. So it was an incredible experience, and as time went on, he and I became closer, and he would give me advice, as if he kind of knew that I was going to go in this direction.
Right.
And I told one time we played at Sheepshead Bay, New York, and I'd never heard of that town until we played there, but it was for this wealthy person's yacht. He had a party on the yacht. So we played there, and while we were down in the dressing area, I told Harold, I said, can I tell you this story? And he said, we were all getting dressed and everything. He said, yeah, go ahead, bro. I said, I used to, when Gamble and Huff had 309 on Broad Street, where they recorded all the hits and stuff, I used to go there. On the first level was Sharky's Trunk. And he was a clothing store. Billy, Paul, and all of them coming in to get
You
their
played
suits.
for Billy Paul, too.
I played for Billy Paul
Okay.
and the Delphonics.
Delphonics.
Yeah. But I used to go, back then I still had my group Eighth Destiny. But I was looking ahead. I wanted to get up in Philly International. I wanted to play. Sugar Bear was the bass player,
yes,
and all of the Carl and Roland Chambers. By the way, I spoke to his daughter, Roland Chambers' daughter,
I'm
the
trying
day
to
before
get on
yesterday.
my show.
I spoke to her the day before yesterday. Yeah, and
Okay.
so Harold, let me tell a story. I said, then the Fantasy Lounge used to be right across the street on,
Fantasy Lounge.
Fantasy Lounge.
Yes, right, it's right across the street.
And I said, Harold, one time I seen you come out of the Fantasy, and you had a powder blue Cadillac Seville, and I said, I'm going to play for that guy one day. When I was volunteering at Sharky's Trunk.
Yeah.
And I said, here I am 25 years later, standing here getting ready to go on stage with you. He said, oh, that's a good story, bro. That's a good story,
that's good.
So, memories, it was a good experience. Very good experience and very enlightening. And it helped me to do the things that I'm doing now.
You took away a lot of learning
Yes,
from that
I
experience.
did. Yes, I
How
did.
about when you worked with the Delphonics? Tell me a little bit about the Delphonics and Billy Paul.
Well, the Delphonics came about with, and I want to give him a shout out, Bay Holiday, bass player, a friend of mine. I think he was playing for this particular night because he played for several groups. This particular night, we were on the road, and just the night that I met him, I think we were in Detroit on a show. He was playing with Blue Magic. I was with Harold Melvin. The Dramatics were on that show, and a couple of other R&B groups. And I kept noticing this guy on the side of the stage watching me. So I was like, hold up, So after we came off, he walked up to me and introduced himself. And my name is Bay Holiday, tall brother, and he was the bass player for Blue Magic that night. And he said, I liked your style of playing.
Okay.
I played for Billy Paul, Blue Magic, and the Manhattans, I think. He says, sometimes my dates cross. I'm looking for a bass player that can stand in for me with one or the other of these groups.
Okay.
So it was a great opportunity, meeting him that night. And I said, yeah, I'd be very much interested in it, as long as it doesn't cross with any of my dates with Harold, And he said, okay. So he gave me some material to learn from the various groups, and I did. And as a matter of fact, we flew home that very night. He said, he called me. I was home in the house sitting there talking with my wife. And hi, Tina, and the children. They're all grown and gone except for our baby girl. She's in college. She's home with us. But even when I got home, about 1 a.m. from the airport, sitting there talking with my wife, and the phone rang, and it was Bay, the guy I just met. And he had a show that he wanted me to do. It started like 2 o'clock in the morning, about 3 blocks from my house.
Okay,
I'm
was
serious.
great. That was convenient.
Yeah, it was very convenient. And, I said, okay, yeah, I'll do it, So that's how I got the opportunity to play for Billy Paul, the Delphonics.
And the Intruders?
Well, I did a couple of shows with the Intruders.
Okay.
And standing in for someone who wasn't able to play. And then Sharon Page, wound up being her music director. But Richie Simmons, who was the guitar player for the Iron Horse, who was James' best friend, came and got me for that show. When Sharon Page and Teddy Pendergrass broke away from Harold Melvin, Sharon Page was ready to start her own group. So we were called Sharon Page and Front Page News.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, it was very nice. Yeah. And we had a nice big production for her first show. And my mom and dad came, and all the people from South Philly, because I was still living down there at that time. And it was great. So, yeah, it was a good experience playing with the Delphonics. And
now, let me take a few minutes and say hi to our friends that tune in. And we have Sandy Sykes.
Hey,
Hi,
Sam.
Sandy. Doris, I'm listening. Okay.
All right.
And we have Jessica Lorraine Stanley. Yes, all is
Hey,
good.
what's up, everybody?
Jessica said she's on board.
All
and
right.
we have T-Life.
T-Life. Yes.
We talked about him.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And Patricia Atkins. Hi, Denise.
Hi, Pat, Denise.
And Willie Robinson.
All right. Well.
Okay. And we want to say thank you for joining us this evening.
Yes.
You got Kenny Jenkins?
Kenny Jenkins is
Oh,
Kenny
yeah.
Jenkins. Kenny, are you there? Okay, hi Kenny.
Hey, Kenny.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And a Willie Robinson.
I got Willie.
Willie Robinson, right. All right,
We want
guys.
to thank you for joining
Thanks for
us
chiming
this evening.
in, y'all.
We're taking a musical journey with Robert Gilmore.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's continue. Tell me about your experience with T-Life and Conway.
Well, I didn't have too much. I didn't have any experiences with T-Life.
Okay.
I've met him a couple of times down at the Clef Club
Oh,
for
okay.
my boy Tony Jones, Tony TNG
Oh.
Jones. That's a friend
Yeah,
of mine.
I talked to him yesterday.
Yeah, that's my man. I mean, we were in kindergarten together.
Yeah.
That's how far back we go.
We made some CDs for him the other day.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on it. As a matter of
Tony
fact,
is
no,
cold.
tonight. Oh, Tony's a monster. He's a beast.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's a beast,
You
man.
should hear the
Yeah.
things he has a CD that's
Yeah.
really great.
I'm waiting for him. We started a song together. I wrote a song called Bass to Bass, and where we're doing the melody lines together, and then we both take a solo throughout the song. I laid the whole song out, so I'm just waiting for you, Tony, to come and put
Tony's trying.
Yeah. But he's playing tonight with Michael Henderson, his
Yes,
band,
yes. He's playing
Wisdom
tonight.
Stick.
I don't
At
know
the-
Foxy Man or nothing like that, but
Yeah.
I heard him and it was like I went straight to Tower of Power.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, that's right. That's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But Tony's a beast. He's a beast. He's been over in
Overseas. He was over in Europe.
yeah, he was
Yeah.
over in Europe, but he was also in one of the Islamic Arabic countries, Turkey. He was over
Oh,
Turkey
really?
for many years. Yeah, he was over there, and he did a lot of business over there,
Wow.
and he was the man over there.
And he's
you know.
still the man. He did CDs, and yes, he's working with Michael Henderson because
Yeah,
he
tonight.
wanted us to come,
Yeah.
but we couldn't come to that.
Oh well, I hope I didn't keep you
No,
away.
no,
I'm
no,
just
no,
playing.
no.
I'm just
We'll
playing.
get there next
I'm
time.
just playing.
We're gonna
Yeah,
get
I'll give him a call in the morning. I'll give
Okay.
him a call, but I need to catch up with him anyway. I know he had been going up. I think Norman Connors moved to Boston. I think
He was with
yeah.
Norman.
He was
Connors, I
Norman.
think.
Yeah, he did one or two albums with Norman Connors. He played with because I have a copy of his first album, Tony Jones' first album that he did. Like I said, we're very personal and close friends.
Okay.
And he had Grover Washington on there. His daughter
Yeah, his daughter sings.
sings.
Yeah. Latrice.
He had
Latrice.
Latrice. He had one of the because he used to play with Sister Sledge also, and he had one of them on his album. So Tony's connected. He's a bad guy.
Well,
Awesome.
how about Conway?
T.G. Conway, genius.
He was on the show, you know.
I saw it.
Did
I
you
watched
see
it. I watched you. Yeah, I watched you. I told you I binged
Yeah.
on your show. One day I sat there for about 4 hours,
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours watching your show.
Yeah.
You know, and so again, it is a great honor to be here, and this platform is incredible.
I thank you. I
we
thank you,
we
Robert.
all the musical, the buzz is all around about this show.
Okay.
You know, and you're doing a lot for people to let people know that the guys and gals who have been in this industry for decades are
Yes.
still here. Those
Are
that are
still
still
here.
passionate and still producing other people. Because a lot of times you don't hear
You don't hear
that,
about them.
you know, because they might be writing for somebody who has a hit out or whatever. And so there's, you know, behind the scenes, a lot of times they're behind the scenes. So, you know.
And a lot of the artists that made it, and when I said made it, you know, they're known artists.
Right.
You guys were part of their career.
Right.
Okay,
This is true.
you helped to move them to where they are today, and sometimes nobody knows that.
Yeah.
And we want Facebook fans and friends and the
Yeah.
whole world to know
Yeah.
that you were part of that music journey, their musical
Right.
journey,
Sure.
to make them and get them to where
And
they
we
are
love
today.
you for that. We
Yes.
all love you, all, especially the
Okay.
musicians, especially the musicians,
All right,
Doris.
okay.
You know, because like you said, you know,
Yeah.
the singers, all the groups and the singers, they get the
Yes.
accolades and they get the money. You know,
Yeah.
the musicians are there kicking it out for them. You know,
Yeah.
and you don't get as much respect, but you know, we pay our dues. And some of us go on to do like the things that I'm doing with the record label, and my goal is to hire some of these wonderful musicians, and collaborate with them, write with them, and bring out some new artists,
That's
and
right.
get the
That's right.
publishing money and
Yes.
copyright money. that you
Right.
can live off the rest of your life.
Yes,
You
yes,
know.
yes.
So these are the things that they were able to do. And then I love Gamble and Huff. I love them. And
Shout
our
out to
fashion,
Gamble,
yeah,
Gamble
you
and
shout
Huff,
out to
yeah.
Cheney Gamble and his daughter Idea, who had just
Okay,
released a new
Idea.
song called Kiss Me. Idea Gamble, shout out to you too. But I fashioned my little company behind the way that they operated. You know, very similar, not the same, but very similar. You know, the difference being, like I said, I really wanted to take very good care of the people that we do interact with.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. All right. Well, how about now you have your own record label. Now, eventually, as we go through, would you consider putting others on your record label?
Yes.
Would you consider
Absolutely.
that aspect of it? Because
Yes.
a lot of us don't have record labels, and
Well, that's what I'm open for. You know, we were speaking earlier, you,
Yes.
myself, and Gil
Gil.
and James, we were talking about that very thing. Well, when one person has the vehicle, that's the motor, you know, and then you have others who have, you can collaborate or write,
collaboration.
make deals, you know, make writing deals, publishing deals, and get and use the engine, use the vehicle to get your record out
Right.
into the world. You know what I mean?
And if we all collaborate and work together,
Right.
you know what I found out, it's like it's so many musicians and singers and artists out here, but sometimes they're all doing their own separate thing.
Right. Right.
Okay, and you know we all need each other for each of us
Yes. To be
to
successful.
to make it.
We would
yeah?
be much stronger if we worked collectively.
Yes.
That was actually the blueprint of Gamble and Huff. You know, they Gamble and you know, Huff was from Camden, New Jersey, but they come from they brought a lot of people from the neighborhoods of Philadelphia, people that they've known from their childhood that were instrumentalists and songwriters and things of that nature. And the greatness of it was that they organized, like you're talking about right now,
Yes,
bringing
yeah.
people together, and we're stronger together. You have so many talented people
Yes.
here in this city, as you know, and now we're a little older. Now we're seasoned.
Yes.
We have more experience. We have a better attitude about things, and
Yes.
so I think that it would. I think you know we need
It's
to
gonna
sit down
work.
and work that out.
It's gonna
You know,
work.
we should work that
Collaborating, bringing songwriters together.
Yes, yes.
And getting some good material together. Because Gilbert and I told you, Gilbert and I, we write all the time, and we love to write because we
Yes.
have a lot of stories, a lot of things in our head that
Yes.
we got, you know. But because we do so many things, we don't get a chance to really write enough songs.
I
You know,
understand.
so if we could collaborate with you, someone like you, James,
Right.
and Conway, and
Yes.
we all get together and we write songs.
Yes.
Just think what we could do.
Oh,
You know, we have a label, we have
Yes,
studios. We have
yes.
studio, we have
That's
studio,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
Where can we get?
The sky's the limit. Sky, and then we all
Right.
have relatives, like the younger generation as well. A lot of our younger generations and our family members are talented people.
Yes, yes, they are.
Why shouldn't we produce our own children and grandchildren and neighbors and things of that nature? You know,
Right.
we have a strong a union of people that write and arrange and produce. I mean, the sky's the
I'm
limit.
excited about the whole thing. I'm excited
Yes.
about getting and bringing people together so we can accomplish this
If
goal.
anybody can do it, you and Gilton can do it. You know, this platform here is from. I mean,
She's killing me as it is.
she's
man.
killing
Come
you
on.
as she's killing you as it is
Gil doesn't
already.
like the
I'm trying to
work.
give you some
He
more
doesn't
work.
want work.
get them, Doris. But yeah, you guys, my hat is off to you. You've opened up a doorway
Okay.
for all of us, and thank you so much. So I'm sure that all of us will come to your call.
Okay.
You call on us, we'll be there.
Okay.
Okay?
Now, how did you balance, because some of the younger guys out there and gals out there, how did you balance your music career with your family life? How did you make that work?
Well, it wasn't by myself, I'll tell you that much. My wife is my rock.
Your strength, right?
We're in our 34th year.
Okay,
In our 34th year.
congratulations.
Hi, honey.
Congratulations.
And,
What's your wife's name?
Tina.
Tina, congratulations,
Tina Gilmore.
Tina.
And we have 3 daughters. They're all grown. Like I said, our youngest daughter is still home with us. She's in college. And the other 2 daughters and 1 son, they're grown and out here being productive in the world.
Okay.
They're all respectable individuals, the way that we raised them. They're beautiful parents. They gave us some beautiful grandchildren, and the great part about it is the grandkids go home when they leave. We see them when we want to see them. We let them stay over sometime, and then when it's time for them to go, they can go on home now. Yeah. But yeah, so my wife is she's been my rock, and she's I just because another part of my life is that I was an architectural, electrical, and mechanical draftsman.
Okay.
I worked on Liberty 1 in Center City, Liberty 2, those buildings.
The buildings down
The
there.
Pennsylvania Convention Center on Arch Street. I have blueprints of everything I've ever done. I was a junior architectural draftsman for the Philadelphia School Board. You asked me how I got, how did I mix the two together? But, you have to work. If you don't have a big musical contract, you have to have another career, one that
Right.
you provide and take care of your responsibilities with your family, and so my wife, but when the opportunity came, I had just graduated, I had retooled myself. I went to school for, after the computer-aided drafting came in, it kind of dwindled the jobs for draftsmen, manual draftsmen. So I thought about it. I started to go to school. I did take a CAD computer-aided course, computer-aided drafting course, but the jobs were further and fewer in between because one CAD operator takes the job of 10 manual draftsmen. So I switched up halfway upstream and went and took a course for computer programming at the Computer Learning Center out here in West Philadelphia. And I graduated with a 3.19 GPA. And right after I graduated, the doorbell rang with a brother who I hadn't seen in 10 years, drummer, who was Harold Melvin's drummer. And he said, Harold he'd been asking for you from when you were with Sharon Page. It's from 10 years ago. He said, Harold had been asking for you.
Okay.
He said, but now it's an opportunity if you want to take it to come and audition for him. I said, yeah, I'll come and audition for him. Now, I just graduated with the programming certificate. So my wife said, that's something that you always really wanted to do.
Yes.
So you don't want to go through the rest of your life and regret not taking this opportunity.
That's right.
Why don't you give it a shot?
Give it a shot.
So she was my support, and she backed me and held the fort down for the times that I was away, and so that's how I mixed it. So that's how I got through.
Okay. And that's wonderful. That's really a support. That was your
Yes.
supportive team.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes, and I'm so thankful for that.
Well, and that's good information because those, the younger crew out here and the guy or the gal that's into music, they need that support too.
Sure.
They need the support,
Absolutely.
to encourage them, to let them do what they want to do and
Yes, I
show their
agree.
passion. And,
Right.
and they still work and bring the money home.
Right. Yeah, you have to survive,
You have to survive.
until you get to where you want to be.
Yes.
Continue your journey, continue your, going after your passion, but you have to survive.
You gotta eat.
You got to eat. Yeah,
Well,
that's right, Gil. You got to eat.
Like Larry and I was a school principal. I was a center director for the federal government for really 25 years.
Wow.
And
Check this out. When I first met her,
Yeah.
and
I kept hearing about
Okay, you
different
telling
jobs
some,
that she had.
you telling
She
funny jokes.
sound like, well, you remind me of a Jamaican back then. Man.
Oh.
I was this, I was that, I was this. She had a job here.
I had a
everywhere.
job, but my main job.
She kept a job. Kept a job.
I had
a couple of
jobs.
them.
I
Yeah.
had jobs.
That's good. Yeah.
But my main job, because I had to work.
Right.
I was a center director. I was a school principal.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
did that for many, many years.
Okay.
With the federal government, with Job Corps. Shout
Right.
out to Job Corps.
That's right.
And I had kids from 16 to 24 years of age.
Awesome.
And they wore me out like it was
Yes.
24/7.
Yes.
And
yes.
then when I came home, I did a lot of traveling.
Okay.
And then when I came home, and I still had to do my music.
That's right. Well, that's your
Either
passion,
if
yeah.
I wasn't in Philadelphia, wherever it was, I was doing music.
That's
you know?
awesome.
And I was working with the kids to get them to do music at the Job Corps Center.
Right.
You know,
Oh,
and
that's
to this
good.
day, they still are in contact with me.
That's awesome. So
You know?
you impacted their life.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I'm always talking to them on Facebook.
Yes.
You know, Latanya, Pramisha,
Yes.
and Ty Breezy. I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, you have that personality. You're a very warm person. And
Thank
you
you.
make people feel comfortable. I feel very comfortable in being interviewed by you, and I feel very relaxed. So you have that personality where people take to you, and
Right.
you know. So and you
Thank you, thank
endear
you.
people to you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, and thank you. You know, you endear people to you, and you actually enrich their lives.
Well, I'm
So that's why they stay in touch with you. Everyone, you know, when you do that to, especially with a younger person, and with the way that the world is, it's very cruel out here. This world
It's a
eats
cruel
you up
world.
and eats you up and spit you out.
Yeah, it's
So
cool.
you want to stay connected to people that are wholesome and make give you faith and strength to continue to go on in your life. You know. So you're
Well,
that type of
I
person.
thank you.
Yeah, you're
Thank
very
you.
welcome. Thank
And
you.
now you're solo. Okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have a new single and new CD. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, and actually it's
But
being.
we heard it. We heard
Yeah, I
it.
sent it
was
to you.
great,
Yeah, I'm
great.
glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. The world will hear it tomorrow. It's being released
Is it
tomorrow.
really?
Tomorrow, yeah. Yeah, the very first one from the record label. It's called Raindrops. And,
Raindrops. I have it right
yeah.
here.
And
So we have your permission to play it on Philly Live Radio.
absolutely, please do.
All right, we will be playing it tonight.
Thank you very much. And let me get home now so I can hear it. I want to hear it on the radio. My first time hearing it on the radio. But it's like I said, I have a great passion for writing and arranging and producing. And I am a bassist. I have about 7 or 8 different types of basses. This particular song, I was becoming acclimated to this 6-string that I bought. And it's got a nice, incredible sound, and has the bottom, the bottom, the B and the higher note too. So I said, well, let me do a 6-string bass lead song. So Raindrops, it works out good, and it's my first time stretching out with the 6-string, and it's an instrumental, and I just call it good music. Sometimes some things are like straight ahead jazz. It's straight ahead jazz, Just some people will call this like a smooth jazz type of song. I call it jazz funk because it's got a nice little backbeat on it, and like I said, it's got that Latin percussion feel on it as well. So it's, a lot of people say it's like a song you can put on when you're driving, those type of songs, with the type of perpetual motion thing on it. But I'm hoping that the world will love it.
I'm sure they will. They will, because we played it.
Put his bass playing on that particular song.
Yes.
Put me in mind of, I can't think of the brother's name. He's no longer with us.
Wayman Tisdale.
Wayman Tisdale. That's it, yeah.
Power forward.
Yes,
Wayman Tisdale. So several people have said that to me. Yeah, and my organist, Shelly Johnson, shout out to you, Shelly. He also said, because I had already written it, and I had called him, and for him to come down and put the Hammond B3 on it, and he said, "Wow, man, that sounds like a Wayman Tisdale type of song, It's in that flavor, it's in that vein,
Oh, my ear's sharp.
I know you are. I know you picked right up on it, my man. So, and I'm honored. Thank you, Gil and Doris, for playing it on your station. And you all have to check out Philly Live Radio.
All right.
Trust me, you will never listen to another station. Ever since I've been listening to it, I'm telling you, I love DAS and everything.
Yeah.
And God bless Tony Brown, he's not coming back, by the way,
Yeah.
from WDAS because of his illness.
Yeah.
And Sunshine, we love you. Tony Brown, we love you. Power to WDAS. But now Philly,
Shout out to all you guys.
shout
Thank
out to
you.
all
Yes.
of you. That's right. And Philly, So, but Philly Live Radio, check it out.
Yeah.
Go on the internet and check it out because you'll never turn to another station.
And we have the facility. We have not the word facility, but we have
The platform.
The platform, okay, to play many songs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And we on the website Philly Live Radio, where you can submit songs to us. Now this is, we're doing this for you, okay? So you can get your material played just like we're doing it for Robert.
Yes.
You can submit your songs
Yes.
on Philly Live Radio.
That's right. Go to the website
Especially Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays,
Tuesday night,
Talent of Philly.
We have what we call Top TOP.
Okay.
Talents of
Oh,
Philadelphia.
that's awesome. That's
All
awesome.
we play those 2 hours, 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah.
And it's 3
all
hours.
of them are Philadelphia artists.
Right. Awesome.
And it's
Awesome.
great.
Okay. All right.
And
Well,
your
yeah.
material will be there. And you say
Yeah.
you're going to record a single every 3 or 4 months?
No. Every for the first year, I'm going to release a new song every 4 to 6 weeks.
Every 4 to 6
So
weeks.
after
Every 4 to
today,
6
it'll be
weeks.
4 to 6 weeks
Remember
for the
that,
next
guys.
one. And I've already got a catalog of material done. I've spent, from the time I opened the company, I went and took an audio engineering course at the Clef Club in
Okay.
Philadelphia. Samari Coles, shout out to Samari Coles from Little Drummer Boys Records and audio engineering school. I took an audio engineering course to learn how to record, to learn all the different softwares, Pro Tools. I'm a Pro Tools man. I'm Pro Tools through and through. I know you told me how you felt about it, but listen, I got some tricks for you with that. Because you were telling me you didn't get the clarity that you wanted with that. That's what you said to me. You didn't get clarity. You didn't have the
Pro
clear.
Tools definitely got the clarity.
Yeah, Pro Tools is awesome. I mean, it's all about, for me, it was just, you know what, I go to YouTube a lot. When is there something that I need to know,
Yeah,
I'll
it's
punch it
right
right
on.
into YouTube and watch a tutorial.
YouTube University?
Yeah, that's right. YouTube University.
Right.
That's right, Gil. Yeah.
And Google University.
Yeah, and Google University. That's right. I mean, anything you want to know is on the internet now. So that's how I really honed my skills to do this album and to record all these songs that I've accumulated over the years. And I write songs that will last over the period of time.
Yeah.
I'm not too much of a faddish writer. What's hot today, I can do that. But the thing is, if you want your songs like Lionel Richie and Stevie Wonder, these guys will be getting publishing for the rest of their life, and then their children and their grandchildren will continue to receive publishing finances to secure them. And they have songs that are played. Sound of Philadelphia, for instance. I read on the internet that every 16 minutes, somewhere in the world, one of their songs is being played. Now imagine what type of publishing is coming to them. I mean, in the world, every 16 minutes. And some places more frequent than that. But so when you have a vast catalog like that, you're talking about some serious security, So,
And that's good for us. That's good
it
for our
is.
families.
Sure.
And we leave something back.
Yes.
We leave something
That's
to
right. And you want to make a footprint on this earth. You want to
Yes.
leave the earth better than it was
Yes.
before you were born. You want to do something positive and leave this earth better than it was. That's what I feel, that we should do. If everybody had that kind of mindset, then things may be get a little better than they are.
Well, we're going to try to, a lot of us are gone, but a lot of us are still here.
That's right.
So the ones of us that's still here, we're going to try to bring them all together.
That's right. Like my
And
big brother
support each
James
other.
says,
Yeah.
he said we might be in the fourth quarter, but the game is not over yet. That's what my man says over there, and that's a wonderful, optimistic way of looking at things. Life is for the living. Never count yourself out. You're never too old to do anything. Just take that out of your mind.
That's right.
You have people that's 85, 90 years old going back to school and getting their degrees. I see it all the time. So never think that you can't do something.
Okay.
If you are passionate about it, do it.
Well, Robert, how do you differ? How do you and Tony Jones differ in your playing style?
Oh, that's a good question. Tony is very aggressive. He's aggressive. And
he's such a gentle man when you talk to him.
Yes,
He's so
he plays the opposite.
He already mentioned it. He already mentioned it. Tony Jones is Tower Power.
Yeah, he plays up. He's and he's very
and he's limited.
And he's Tony is he's a gentle person. He's a gentle person.
He's really
his
gentle.
persona, and he's very gentle, and he's aggressive. He's a monster on that bass, man. Even when we were in kindergarten, he was
Who was the bass player for Tower Power? Rocco's or?
I forget his name. I know Gerald Baldy was a drummer,
he
but I
played
forget
the 16th notes.
Yeah, all the time, especially on What Is Hip.
Right.
The 16th notes. Yeah,
he was killing it on 16th.
Killing it all the time.
That style.
Yes.
I'm not boxing Tony, but that's where he was at.
He's aggressive. He's very aggressive. Me personally, I'm a gentleman. Now I can do the 16th notes, but I like to spread my style out. I'm laid back like on this cut, on the raindrops. The solo that I take on the 16 on the 6-string bass is laying right in there with the music. It's now I could have double timed it. Now the next song that's coming out, "You Are My Love" is the title of that. That's also a bass lead song.
And this is making me want to write.
Yeah,
There's so many things we have to write about.
Now that one,
man, that's more work for me.
Yeah, but listen, I look forward to working with you guys. I really do. I think that we can really do some great things together, and because you all have an incredible outfit here, and you're aggressive and you're business minded, and so the people that you call will come.
Okay.
The people that you call T-Life, T.G. Conway, and I love, shout out to Breakwater.
Oh, Breakwater.
Breakwater, Steve Green and the crew. I watched the interview,
Joe
and
Harris,
those guys were our superheroes, along with the Iron Horse, Breakwater, and the Soul of Valiance, which later became the Force of Nature. Those type of groups were our heroes. They were the bar that was set in Philadelphia for all of the local bands, and so shout out to Breakwater, Steve Green, and all the guys, Darren Daltrey, Freddie Holiday with the OJs, all you guys.
He's the drummer, right?
Freddie Holiday,
drummer.
yeah. And Boys to Men, because Freddie Holiday and them, they were Boys to Men's first band.
Okay.
With Colt on the keyboards and all. Boys to Men about to do their 25th anniversary concert at the New Met Theater, the New Met venue. So just made me think of that. But,
wow.
Yeah, so the people that you call to come and everything. So.
Well, what
Tony Jones is a beast, though.
Yeah, he was supposed to be doing some things with Fat Larry's band. He's supposed to be doing that, but he's doing so many things.
Yes, he is.
But he's doing it.
Yeah, and
he's doing it. Tony's doing it.
Yes, he is, and I was just saying, I told him, I said, don't push yourself too hard, because you had the transplant, and everything. So, but he's doing it, like you said. He's going up to Baltimore. He's still playing, he's still doing music with Norman Connors, and so many other people. I remember when he was with Nina Simone. I used to go over to her apartment. She had a place on Loft on 23rd, I think, 22nd, 23rd in Chestnut. I used to go over there with him. To, when she would go over to Africa or whatever and leave him with the Loft, and I'd go over there with him. But I just wish him the best. Tony's a wonderful guy, and I have nothing but love and respect for him, So we have two different styles, but so I'm waiting I'll catch up with him, and maybe when he gets some time, he can come up and finish the song with me.
Okay.
He was over the house one time, and we went up into my little studio at the house and started it. But,
both of y'all can come over here and share, and I record everybody.
Oh yeah, that we can do that. Yeah,
But that
we just have to get a hold of him. That's all.
That doesn't Marcy Francis play bass?
Huh?
Marcy Francis.
Yeah, Marcy.
She plays the bass too, so we want to bring Marcy
That was a
too.
lady
Bring
fingers.
some female.
Lady
Yeah, yeah.
Lady fingers.
Yeah, she's awesome too now. Yeah, she's rough.
Well, Marcy, I think Marcy will be on the show the first Thursday in March.
Okay.
I've been trying to get
I'll be
her
looking
on
forward
the show
to that.
for us,
Yeah,
so she'll be on there.
It's amazing. We used to watch her. She used to play at Emerson. Her group used to play at Emerson's Lounge a lot in our neighborhood. We used to run over there and see her, But yeah, that would be great.
That would be good.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing that show. But you guys are doing great. So.
Well, now
give a shout out to Donnie. I see you popped up.
Donnie?
Yeah.
Is that Donnie Tatum?
Yeah.
Hi, Donnie.
Hey,
How are
Donnie.
you? Hi, Marcy. Okay.
All right, Donnie.
Thanks for joining us this evening.
Yes, thank you, Donnie.
Now, are you performing anywhere? Are you still performing, or
Well,
or
no? I kind of slowed down on the performing because it's been taking all my time.
Okay.
To do this project, it's more a lot of business and administrative things. That's one thing that I would tell anyone who endeavors this.
Okay, so let's talk to the Facebook fans to give them this information.
Yeah, I would say that if you're going to go into the business of music, if you don't have a representative taking care of your business, then if you're going to be doing it on your own, take the time to learn the things you need to learn, because a lot of people leave a lot of money on the table. A lot of people throw these videos up on YouTube, and they think that once you do your copyright with the Library of Congress, that's it. No, you have mechanical rights when the music being played on the internet. So you need to go to a SoundScan or a organization like that to make sure your mechanical royalties are covered. And then you should also look into opening up your own publishing company, because a lot of the time, if you're just using your copyright, you're leaving half of your money on the table from these videos. So just be thorough and do your due diligence and look into all the business aspects. Everything that you want to know is on the internet, or if you know people in the music industry, ask questions.
Ask questions. Okay, now. How can the fans, how can they reach you?
Okay, the website, we just got it up last night, as a matter of fact.
Okay,
I was up till about 2 o'clock in the morning getting it set up with a couple of my people. And you can go to Primetime, spell it all out, no spaces, primetimephiladelphia.com. And you can subscribe to our website, and we'll keep you in the loop, keep you up on what's going on, all the new things. There's a lot about to take place. We waited a long time to start this so that we would be able to be consistent in the content that we release on a consistent basis without too many lulls or lags in time. So we want to have a lot of consistency and a lot of content to offer our people, a lot of music and things of that nature. So, and we are building up to the point, once we get about halfway through the year, a little bit past halfway through the year, we'll start looking at touring. And then you'll start to see some dates. We'll start doing some venues, and people will be able to come out and see the first act, which is myself and my unit, live, So, and
now, Robert, if I'm a new artist, and I just want you to just listen to my song and maybe give me some pointers. Would you do that for me?
Oh, absolutely.
So if I could send, long as it's copywritten.
Right.
Make sure it's
Please
copywritten.
Protect yourself before you send any music.
Copyright
everything. Don't deal with trust. Trust is what can get you violated. Okay, I'll put it like that. I mean, never. It's only good it's good business practice.
Business is business.
Business is business, and personal is personal. You separate the two. When you're doing business, you handle yourself in a business way, and so copyright your music, and then when you want to have it critiqued, I'll be happy to critique it if you like, and if you want to collaborate, and if the time permits. And again, we're building our staff. We have some very good writers. We have there's only about 3 or 4 of us right now, that we are starting with, but we have some really very good writers, and we'll be happy to critique it. If you want an opinion on which or some direction, we'll offer what we can for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that goes for Gilbert and I at Philly Live Radio. You can submit songs. We'll listen, review. We collaborate also. We put it together.
Yes.
For the good.
Yes, I saw it on your website.
Yeah, you can send it in. If you go to Philly Live Radio, it'll give you, what's the website, Gilbert?
Website. PhillyLiveRadio.com.
Okay, and it'll give you one of the links will say submit songs, and you could do it that way.
Yeah, and I think you want it in an MP3 file, right?
Yes.
MP3 format.
Instructions are there.
Yeah.
And if you're interested in getting on the indie show, I know I take a lot of you by phone, but it's just a whole lot for me to do, so you can go.
Yes.
It's a whole lot.
She works. I know what Gilbert is saying.
Don't call me.
So you
He said call Doris, don't call Gil.
You can go to dhalljamesindieshow.com, to my website, and you can fill out contact information, and then I will call you. I stay in contact with everybody.
Yeah. They're awesome. So please, this is an incredible platform. So I really would suggest anyone who is aspiring or who is on a mission in the music industry, this is a great platform to come to, and they do a phenomenal job.
Okay, now one other thing, because Gilbert's giving me the 5 minutes. We like to give away or download one of your songs.
Sure.
Okay? We'll always say that if the Facebook fans and friends, if they share the video, the one who shares it the most, and I'm not going to say within 24 hours because your video is going to stay on Facebook for a little bit.
Okay.
We download one of your songs onto, through their email to them as a giveaway gift.
Absolutely.
Would that be all right
Oh,
with you?
please do. Please do. I'll be happy to be a part of that. Sure.
Okay. All right. So we have our regular customers. We have Sandy and Jessica, and we have James Payne, who always supports us.
Okay.
And let me get it. It's James Payne, Douglas Payne.
Yes. Okay,
and
Doug.
Wait, it's somebody else. I've got to say. I got to think of his name. He always supports. Oh my God, I can't think of it. Please forgive me. But all these people here that support us, and they down. Oh, Carlos Rayleigh.
Carlos.
Carlos.
He was with Harold Melvin. Yeah.
I gotta say, because Carlos always supports us.
I seen him on a couple of your shows. He was here with Sam Reed and Alfie Pilot.
Yeah.
All right, I saw him here. Yeah. I saw him in another show he was on.
I want to thank all of you for supporting the indie show.
Yes.
Okay, and next week.
Shout out to T-Life.
Yeah, T-Life is still there, and Kenny and Willie, and they're all
Kenny,
Levon
Jenkins,
there.
and all of them.
Now, Levon Tatum, he's excellent.
Okay,
Shout
out to Levon.
And he had a new CD out about, was it around August?
I'm not sure when it was,
but you have to go to his website. He's awesome.
Okay,
he's awesome.
Check him out.
And then James Jackson, and then Joseph Smith, and James Jackson, I think. Oh, I'm trying to think who he was on there with. But I want to thank you all. Here's my daughter-in-law, Michelle.
Hi,
Thank you,
Michelle.
We want to thank you all for joining us tonight.
Absolutely.
And next week, on the 21st, we have guitarist Richard Tucker.
Oh, yes.
You know Richard?
I haven't met him personally, but I've seen all of his work. I've seen a lot of his videos.
He's awesome.
And everybody knows him. Yeah, isn't he? The Sam Reed said he used to play with his father. His father was a sax on your show. I think Sam Reed said he used to play with Rick Tucker's father. Yeah. His father was a famous saxophonist, I think, if it's the same.
Yes.
I think it's a Rick Tucker and a Richard Tucker. Anyway, I think he said it was Rick Tucker's father.
Yeah, he has a story to tell. He'll be on next week. Now we have a couple more seconds, and I want to give you that to talk to the Facebook fans and friends before we close.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. Well, listen, thank you, Facebook family. You all are the greatest. I love you guys. You've on my regular page, you follow me a lot. Yes. And you're really chiming in on the Primetime Philadelphia LLC page. I have nothing but love for you. If you anything that I could ever do, holler at me. And if anything that in musically that you need from me, I'll be happy to provide it. I think the world of all of you. Everybody, stay to your dream. Stay positive. Treat one another well, and you'll see the goodness that comes to you. Yes. That's how I feel about that.
And thank you, Gil, as usual.
Gil, thank you, Gil. Gil is an awesome guy. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, and Brother James.
And we'll see you next Thursday, the 21st, with Richard Tucker.
All right, Rich.
We out.
All right. Good night.
Listen to the